You know, obviously a really good night for us, good night for the program. You know, to get this place is a really the atmosphere here is a very strong atmosphere, and our guys. I was really happy with the way our guys responded in that atmosphere under some pretty duress situations. We got a lot of young guys in our lineup. I mean, obviously Mike's a freshman on the mound for us, and he's answered the bell so many times this year. You know, we felt pretty fortunate to give him a 4-run lead, and he is a master of minimizing negative situations, him and Mooney both. And I thought both of them were really at their absolute best tonight, as well as Roos. You know, Bobby came in the game and minimized. It was really a night of minimizing defensively, playing pretty clean defense. And, you know, I mean, our offense obviously wasn't, we didn't get a whole lot going after we put that 3 spot up. But, you know, it's a matter of doing what you got to do to get to the end and hanging in there. And we did a great job of hanging in there. And I really thought probably the biggest turning point of that game, I worked for 6 years at Louisiana Lafayette for Tony Robichaux. And Tony had a great saying about creating or negating the 3-run inning. And we were able to put a 3 spot up in the 3rd. And I thought the turning point of that game was when they had 2nd and 3rd and nobody out, I believe. And Mike was able to minimize that to 2 runs and kept them away from a 3-run inning. And I thought that was a real crucial point. Obviously, we had some big points beyond that once he left the game, but that was kind of like a spot that really really kept us in there. So, I mean, obviously, we're really happy to be sitting where we're sitting in this at this point in this regional. But it is just a 2nd win, and we're not here just to get 2 wins. We're here to finish this thing off, and obviously that's our mindset going into tomorrow.
Student-athlete questions? Neil?
Kevin, after the 2 singles there in the night, you're sitting there 1st and 3rd, and they come into the middle of their lineup. I mean, clearly you got exactly what you wanted. But what are you thinking there about what you have to do?
Coming in, especially in that situation, I mean, I've been there before at the end of the game, get a few guys on, and it just comes down to slowing the game down, going pitch by pitch, just not really thinking about rearing back too much, just kind of throwing it, kind of hitting spots. And it turned out that I hit a good spot and got a good ball, nice 2-hopper right to Lau at 2nd, and we ended the game right on double play.
Right.
Mike, he talked about this atmosphere. Just talk about how you were able to keep it under control with such a unique atmosphere that there is here at Carolina Stadium.
I mean, the fans are great. You know, even though we're the opposing school, I mean, this is the type of atmosphere you dream, you know, to play in these type of situations. So, you know, one of the big things is to embrace it, but also to put it out of your mind. I think a big part of, you know, what happened was just calming down. You know, slowing the game down and going pitch by pitch, like Mooney said. You know, our pitching coach Bellinger always tells us that. You know, take a deep breath, reset, get back on the mound, and just focus. I mean, the target doesn't change; it's still 60 feet 6 inches.
How much in your first regional start, Mike, did those 4 runs in the first 2 innings really help you to settle in and kind of approach it more calm and relaxed?
I thought it really you know, helped me settle in. You know, anytime you get a 4-run lead, it's very nice. You know, it's pretty good work for your offense. But you know, I go into every game and it's just another game. If you get caught up thinking about like it's a regional start or whatever, you let the game take over you. So you know, when I go out there, I just try and throw strike 1, and you know, see what happens.
Lamont, once in a while, you guys get to watch the other 2 teams play first, and you're sitting there in the driver's seat. What's your feeling about how you guys approach it tomorrow, and what you got to do? Because clearly you prefer to end it tomorrow than Sunday if you can, on Monday if you can.
Well, we just got to come out with our same mentality, just attack the opposing team, play clean deep behind our starting pitcher, and just keep running off our plan to plate. We got away from it a little bit tonight, but we just get back on track with it tomorrow.
Lamont, you guys seem to be really aggressive early in the first few innings. Was that part of the game plan of trying to get some early swings in the count against Wynkoop?
Well, we always want to be aggressive early and throughout the game as well. I mean, we just want to we're working hard to get our swing off on good pitches that we can handle. Just run the plan off to a tee, and we should have great success with it. So.
Mike, after you guys got those 4, did you think you'd be able to make those stand up?
Yeah, I mean, I just try and go out and throw zeros up on the board. You know, put us in a good position to win. You know, for a couple of those innings, I wasn't able to put up a 0, but you know, Coach Szefc and all the coaching staff always tells you about being mentally tough, and I knew how to be mentally tough in that 1 inning that they had the 2 runs, because it could have easily gotten out of hand. So you know, I just try and do my best, make the best pitches when it counts.
Any more student athlete questions? Jimmy on the far side, Grayson.
For Kevin, could you just take me through the last at bat with getting the double play in the game?
I mean, I started him off with a strike, and then I think Coach called a curveball, and I think I got to 2-2, and then I saw him put down another fastball, an away fastball, and I mean, I was fully committed, I was fully behind it, and I knew that if it was going there, it wasn't going to be over the plate, and it ended up being a few inches off the plate, and I mean, I was just fully committed to the pitch, and hit the location, and he hit a nice routine 2-hopper, and we ended the game on that.
Yesterday, you spoke openly about, streaks ending, and you had a quiet confidence. How were you able to pass that along to your team and, able to permeate in the way they were so relaxed today?
I didn't really do anything or say anything different than any other day we're playing, really, I mean, you can't – baseball is not football. You can't put a pair of shoulder pads on and have a guy run through a brick wall to try to beat somebody up. It's more of a game that I've learned over the years that you have to get your guys to relax as much as possible. Effective baseball players can pitch and play the game when they're relaxed and when they're easy. When they can reset themselves and be able to slow things down in a hostile environment. So to get guys pumped up, you don't have to get guys pumped up to play here against these guys. If your players can't get pumped up to play here, then you got the wrong guys. And we clearly do not have the wrong guys. It was just a matter of trying to get them just to be easy and relax. And, I thought for the most part we were able to do that.
Tomorrow you get to watch them kind of beat up on each other and wait to play. Who's the likely starter for you tomorrow? And what's your approach going into that game? Clearly you'd like to not have to play on Monday.
Yeah. I got to sit with Jimmy Ballinger and talk about that tonight. We really haven't figured that one out yet. We got to talk about some matchups, and a lot of it's going to be depending on who we play. So, but I mean, approach-wise, it's not like anything's going to change. We'll run our best lineup out there, depending on whether we face a righty or lefty, and the arm what we think is going to put us in the best position to win. And I like our chance. With our bullpen. I mean, Roos only threw he only threw 8 pitches tonight, 7 for strikes, which is pretty classic Roos. And Kevin got Mooney got a 1 2/3. But yeah, when you're playing for a regional championship, it's pretty much all hands on deck. So that's kind of what it'll be tomorrow.
Brad?
Coach, can you tell me a little bit what your thought process was in sending Mike Shawaryn back out to start the 7th? He had rough 2 innings before that.
Good question. Really good question. Well, he had minimized the inning before, and the 6th held it to 2. Mike Shawaryn is tough. He is very, very tough. He's one of the toughest young guys I've ever been around in my life. That's why I sent him back out there. And also because his pitch count wasn't through the roof. Martyr told me and Jimmy his stuff was still better than good. And from a head coaching standpoint, when you're playing a team and their starter is running really well, the thing you really want to have happen is for them to take that guy out of the game. Okay? I don't know what those guys were thinking in their dugout, but from my perspective, I'm thinking they want Shawaryn out of there. So I'm going to keep the toughest guy we have, one of the toughest guys we have in the game, if he's still able to be effective. It was about how good his stuff still was and how tough that guy is.